Ang tinatanong ko po, under Section 65, ipinagbabawal ang splitting of contracts. Alam po ba ninyo yun o hindi? Kung hindi po nyo, sabihin nyo, hindi. Hindi nyo po alam.
You just answered directly the question of the Honorable Marcoleta.
I do not know, Your Honor.
Eh, hindi pa na-achieve yung 41%, pero nag-advance na po kayo ng bayad na 1 billion plus. Why?
Tama po yung Mr. Chair.
Or about 366%. Tama rin po.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Wala. Talagang tama lahat.
Tama po
Yes.
lahat, Mr. Chair.
And nothing is being done about it by LTO.
Pagtulungan natin ito sapagkat malaki po ang problema ninyo. Mr. Chair, may I clarify from Dermalog his earlier statement that their system is free, Mr. Chair. Because after listening to the presentation of LTO, I noted, Mr. Chair, that the LTO paid already Dermalog 2.5 billion pesos out of the 3.1 billion contract. And the same slide presented by LTO showed that they're paying an annual cost of about 1.2 billion to use the Dermalog system at the end of the 5-year maintenance period. I also note from the same slide, Mr. Chair, that Dermalog is asking 60 pesos convenience fee per transaction from the public. So I'd like to believe, Mr. Chair, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the system is paid for by the taxes of the Filipinos. So it is not free. May I get the reaction from the Dermalog, Mr. Chair? How is it free?
Dermalog, did you get the queries of the Honorable Marcoleta?
Mr. Chair, yes, and Honorable Marcoleta, the system is free means there is no transactional fees, and the convenience fee for online transaction is not collected by Dermalog. It is collected by a payment provider. It's like when you pay with a credit card online, there is a fee. When you pay with GCash, there is a fee. It's like this. So the system usage for the Filipino client, when they apply for a driver's license, when they renew their motor vehicle, register their motor vehicle, do anything, it is free of charge. Unlike before, where for every kind of transaction, there was a computer fee of 169 pesos to be paid. This is removed now in the new system in LTMS. There is no more computer fees, upload fees, download fees, whatever fees. It is solely the collection coming through LTMS goes 100% to the Filipino government and not to Dermalog or someone else.
Mr. Chair, but do not window dress by saying that it is free. Maybe it is free for the user, but your system is paid by the taxes from all Filipinos, including myself and the chairman of this committee. Is that correct?
Yes po.
So, hindi siya free.
Yes po.
Okay. Para lang malinaw, Mr. Chair. Mahirap kasi yung baka nga paniwalaan kayo na free. Eh, hindi naman pala. May I proceed, Mr. Chair?
You still have the floor.
Mr. Chair, I would like to know whether this LTMS was the same original NEDA ICC approved in 2012, the then DOTC IT infrastructure project, or the LTO component. May I know if that is correct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, if I may answer. No, Mr. Chair, the contract as approved was modified.
Yeah, but the origin, Mr. Chair, yung origin po ang tinatanong ko, it is the NEDA ICC approved project in 2012. And then you were saying that it was modified in 2018, but it was divided into two components or 21 subcomponents and 21 procurements and contracts. Tama po ba yun? Ito po yung pinanggalingan ng LTMS. Correct.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Dahil nga po, Mr. Chair, ito po ay pinagmulan niya ay NEDA ICC approved single integrated project. Ngunit sa hindi may paliwanag na kadahilanan, ako po pinag-aaralan ko, medyo hirap na hirap din ako. Paano po nangyari na ito ay na-subdivide into two components? Component A, ito yung LTO, LTMS ngayon at saka component B. Mr. Chair, gusto ko pong malaman kung itong pagkakahati-hati ngayon ay nagkaroon ng approval sa NEDA ICC. Mr. Chair, sapagkat binago po ninyo. Meron po ba?
Mr. Chair, when I entered also in LTO, those are also the questions that I was asking because maliban po sa change, wala ko kaming record kung nabalik po sa NEDA ang approval of the amendments made to the original contract.
So, my questions are your questions too.
Yes,
Sino po ngayon ang sasagot sa mga tanong ko ngayon?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, marami pa hong tanong regarding the original contract that haunts us up to this very date, Your Honor. It's just that we are focused on moving forward kaya hindi pa ho namin nasasagot yung mga question na yan po. My apologies.
Pero Mr. Chair, dahil kayo naman po ay nagtagal na sa posisyon ninyo, hindi kagaya ko na ngayon ko lang po binabasa, sa palagay ko naman ay naintindihan na ninyo o maaring nabasa nyo na kung saan mang dapat basahin na wala pong specific NEDA ICC approval ang pagkaka-split po ng kontrata. Tama po.
That's correct.
Into 21 bids of contracts, Mr. Chair.
That's correct, Mr. Chair. In all the records of...
O paano po ngayon, Mr. Chair, sapagkat sangayon po sa isang kaso na pinagtibay ng Korte Suprema, Mr. Chair, Alvarez versus People, GR number 192591, June 29, 2011, the blatant non-observance of bidding procedures ay ano po gross negligence po pala ang katapat po nito The LTO's failure to obtain prior evaluation and approval for the said 21 procurements from the NEDA ICC will satisfy, Mr. Chair, the elements of gross negligence. Paano po ito?
Mr. Chair, precisely when I came into office, I immediately referred the matter to the Ombudsman para maimbestigahan ng husto. Because at that point, I already saw...
di mabuti pala, Mr. Chair, nababanggit natin, yun lang nila inisip pala na kailangan palang pumunta na sa Ombudsman para makita natin ang pinanggalingan ng lahat ng ito. Kasi po, Mr. Chair, given the gross negligence dito po sa pagkakabigay ng unwarranted benefits, kung sino man po yung winning bidders dito, malalaman naman po natin mamaya, magkakaroon po kayo ng liability dyan sa LTO kung sino man po ang may kasalanan dito. Mr. Chair, the splitting of the 2018 project into 21 subcomponents and contracts violated the procurement law and constitute technical malversation under the revised penal code. Will you agree?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Meron po bang taga-DBM dito, Mr. Chair?
Meron po.
Sino po yung taga-DBM para matulungan niyo po kami?
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor.
I see.
My name is Nihal Abdulrauf Bacalna from the DBM, Your Honor.
Salamat po. May I proceed, Mr. Chair? Madam, you are aware that Section 65 of the procurement law prohibits splitting of contracts.
Your Honor, regarding matters on the implementation of RA number 9184, the Government Procurement Reform Act, that is addressed by the GPPB or the Government Procurement Policy Board Technical Support Office, Your Honor. So if there are matters concerning the implementation of RA number 9184, that would have to be addressed by the GPPB, Your
Hindi,
Honor.
mamaya pa po yung 9184. Tinatanong ko lang kung are you aware that Section 65 of the procurement law, 9184, ito po ipinagbabawal niya yung splitting of contracts.
I am not aware, Your Honor, since it is handled by the GPPB. I understand that the GPPB is attached to the DBM. However, matters concerning procurement is addressed by the said office. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, baka gusto niyo pong i-direct siya na sagutin. Napakasimple po ng tanong. Ang procurement law po natin is 9184. Ang tinatanong ko po, under Section 65, nung batas na yon, ipinagbabawal ang splitting of contracts. Alam po ba ninyo yun o hindi? Kung hindi po nyo sabihin nyo, hindi. Hindi nyo po alam.
Your Honor, no, I am not in the position to answer the question, Your Honor.
Hindi. Why are you not in the position? Alam mo kung alam mo o hindi eh. Di ba? You just answer directly the question of the Honorable Marcoleta.
I do not know, Your Honor.
And for your information, Madam, from the DBM, there is a splitting of contracts if the following exist. One, there is a government project or contract to be bid out or implemented. B, the government contract is divided into smaller quantities or amounts, or the implementation of the contract is artificially divided into phases or subcontracts. And C, the purpose for the division or subdivision of the government contract is to circumvent legal requirements imposed on the government contracts or projects. Would you agree that the accountable LTO officers' acts of paying the subdivided procurements or contracts, which had neither NEDA ICC approval nor effectively a congressional appropriation, constituted technical malversation under Article 220 of the revised Penal Code? Hindi mo rin alam.
No, Your Honor.
O LTO na lang. Alam niyo po.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, that's one of the possible charges na refer ho namin sa Ombudsman.
Kailan niyo po gagawin lahat ng ito?
We
Matagal na po ito.
Opo, we are in fact coordinating also with the Ombudsman as far as the marami po kasi mga opisyalis ng LTO involved in this contract that are no longer with LTO. Kaya po nakipag-coordinate po kami sa Ombudsman precisely in order to enforce accountability kung meron man, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair. At kinakailangan malaman po rin nyo na yung NEDA ICC approval was for a single integrated project. As approved, the project has only one appropriation. So yung elements po ng technical malversation, alam na po ninyo yan, abogado naman po kayo, di ba? The original multi-year obligation authority, ito po yung MYOA dated December 21, 2012, in the amount of 10 billion 800 million plus plus for the subject project was valid only for the period from 2013 to 2020 or for 7 years only. Tama po?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. 2024 na po tayo ngayon, Mr. Chair. Or 11 years past 2013 and over 3 years past 2020. Was this MYOA extended?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Mukhang hindi nga po. No payments can be made for a project without such a MYOA or its equivalent, and no MYOA will be issued unless there is a specific NEDA ICC approval for such project. Tama?
Tama po yun, Mr.
So,
Chair.
paano po ngayon? Hindi naman po pala na-extend yung MYOA.
Ang action step po namin going forward in coordination po with DOTR is precisely to go back to NEDA and seek approval for this extension, Mr. Chair.
Eh ngayon pong wala nga approval, eh sinubdivide po lahat. Ngayon lang po kayo hihingi ng approval sa NEDA?
I understand the problem encountered in the past. Talagang nakikita ko po yung problemang ginawa. But moving forward, Mr. Chair, we will seek the NEDA approval.
Mr. Chair, alam po ba kaya ng LTO na yung 13 extension orders and 3 amendments to the payment schedule for component A of the 2018 project also violated the procurement and anti-graft laws? Alam po ba ninyo?
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, that is one of the highlights of our referral to the Ombudsman.
Yung original payment milestones po, ilan po yun?
There were 4 original milestones.
Hindi, 8, di ba? Reviewin mo mabuti.
Mr. Chair, I'm advised na 4 po talaga tapos meron pong maintenance agreement. So lahat
8.
8, no?
Pero sinubdivide ninyo into 28.
Labing 3 po ang naging na-subdivide po ng LTO po at that time to 13 milestones, Mr. Chair, a plus the maintenance agreement.
Naging 28 nga po eventually.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So kailan po ninyo huling nalaman itong pangyayaring ito?
Kung pumasok po ako, maaga ko po nalaman yung mga ganyang ginawa. Kaya po, Mr. Chair, we immediately referred it to the Ombudsman.
With the indulgence of the Honorable Marcoleta, may I ask the ASEC Mendoza to submit to this committee yung ni-refer nyo dun sa Ombudsman?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
When would that be?
Tomorrow, Mr. Chair.
Tomorrow. Thank you. Please proceed, Honorable Marcoleta.
Ilan po yung extension na binigay po ninyo dun sa original payment milestones, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, ang binigay po dati was 13 extensions.
Hindi po, yung sa original payment. Hindi po ba 6.5 months lang?
1 moment, Mr. Chair, if I may refer. Around 6 months, Your Honor.
Pero nung i-subdivide po ninyo eventually into 28 milestones. nagkaroon po ng extension na 2.5 years. Tama po?
Tama po yun. The effective period of the extension was 2.5 years.
Pero kung ibabase po natin, meron po kasi ako nakuha kopya, Mr. Chair, nung COA Audit Observation Memo. Basahin po ninyo yung page 5 doon. Ang sinasabi, hindi po ninyo magagawa, hindi kayo makakagawa ng substantial changes. Nakalagay po sa Audit Observation Memo. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Puro tama po ang sagot eh. Mr. Chair, ano?
Napayag po siya dun sa sinasabi po ninyo.
At doon sa page 9, kung titingnan po ninyo yung makapal po yun eh. Kaya lang kaming dalawa ni Chairman, maski na po nakasalamin kami, binabasa namin yun. Kaya hindi po ninyo maitatago yun. Yung maximum allowable extension shall not be longer than the initial delivery period as stated in the original contract. Tama po?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, ako po ay nagtataka kung bakit ang LTO po ay napaka-generous ng pag-extend po ng deadline. At meron pang matching generosity nung pag-advance ng payments. Sa inyo pong Amendment of Payment Schedule number AOP 2019 A-001 dated 15 October 2019, the LTO recognized that the go live is not yet possible in the months to come. Is this correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
The percentage of completion allegedly stood at 34%. Tama po.
Tama po, Mr.
And
Chair.
yet, the LTO, Mr. Chair, amended the terms of payment as specified in the bid bulletin number 3 and allowed the payment of 1 billion plus pesos on November 8, 2019, which would have been made only after the project has gone live and a percentage of completion of 41%.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Bakit po nangyari yon? Eh, hindi pa na-achieve yung 41%, pero nag-advance na po kayo ng bayad na 1 billion plus. Why?
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair. Those are the same questions that we're now asking. Kasi
You
po-
were asking also those questions.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kanino nyo po tinanong?
Hindi po. We are researching on this, Mr. Chair. Nagtanong po kami sa mga taong nandun pa at the time, Mr. Chair, on why these amendments were made. And true to fact, Mr. Chair, hindi rin kami mabigyan ng diretsong sagot kung why
Mr.
these
Chair,
things
the
were made.
LTO paid for the maintenance of core applications for the period October 2019 to October 2020, although the delivery of the core applications was accepted only in November 2020. Did you also notice this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. There are also documents, Mr. Chair, that will show two payments in the same amounts of 135 million plus for maintenance expense that should have accrued only after the LTO's acceptance of the delivery. Tama rin po yun.
That's
Yan
correct,
din po ang tinatanong nyo sa sarili nyo habang kayo natutulog siguro.
Habang
O hindi kayo makatulog.
nung pinag-aaralan ko po, Mr. Chair, ang LTMS, all these revelations have also come out. And part of our due diligence moving forward, Mr. Chair. Pero tama po ang observation po ni Honorable Congressman Marcoleta.
And Mr. Chair, I want to ask the LTO if he is aware that aside from the 3 amendments to the payments under the contract, there are 13 extension orders which granted LTMS an extension from the original delivery schedule of only 20 weeks or 6.5 months to 2.5 years, or about 366%. Tama rin po.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Wala. Talagang tama lahat.
Tama po
Yes.
lahat, Mr. Chair.
And nothing is being done about it by LTO. Tama rin po ba?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair. In fact, as I said, that is now under investigation po yan.
Marami makukulong yata rito, Mr. Chair. And yet LTO should know that the GPPB Manual of Procedures for the Procurement of Goods and Services, Volume 2, Section 5. Alam mo na siguro ang gusto ko sabihin, ano? The maximum allowable extension shall not be longer than the initial delivery period. Sinabi ko kanina, as stated in the original contract.
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
So may mali na naman po doon, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. In fact, Mr. Chair, the first extension was made 30 days after the notice of award.
Yes, and therefore LTMS should have been completely delivered by June 14, 2019, not 2.5 years later.
That's correct, Mr.
Correct. At palagay ko yung COA naman, pinaalalahanan na kayo on the matter of imposition of liquidated damages for these delays. Were you?
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, we are now computing exactly that, Your Honor.
So how much the LTO would impose this deducted or liquidated damages? Meron na ba kayong initial estimate?
Your Honor, our initial estimate is somewhere between 350 to 400 million.
Mali ang estimate nyo. Alam mo, may kinakausap na kaming accountant ng chair. Ha? Siguro ayusin yung mabuti yung estimate nyo dahil mali yun eh. How much is the bond posted by the supplier? No, Dermalog, ang supplier.
Around 300 million, Your Honor.
Ilan po?
300 billion, Your Honor.
Valid pa po ba yun and effective?
Hindi na, Mr. Chair.
Ano po?
As far as we know, hindi na ho valid. We're checking on it.
So are you asking Dermalog to post another bond?
I stand corrected, Mr. Chair. Valid pa ho yung bond.
Ha?
Valid pa ho yung bond. It's still valid.
Oh, nag-claim na ba kayo doon sa bond?
Hindi pa ho. Kino-compute pa ho namin yung full liquidated damages. We will be discussing this with Dermalog also, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, marami pong itatanong. Baka mayroon pang gusto magtanong sa atin. Ayoko namang ubusin ang panahon ng mga kasama natin.
Yeah, wala namang kumukontra sa iyo dun sa LTO.
Hindi siya makakakontra sapagkat hawak ko, Mr. Chair, ang mga datos. At pagbalik ko mamaya, baka wala na sila rito, Mr. Chair.
Ay, hindi pwedeng umalis. Dito
Huwag mo
pa tayo
silang... Hindi ko po kayo tinatakot. Gusto lang ayusin natin lahat ito. No? Pagtulungan natin ito sapagkat malaki po ang problema ninyo. Nakakaintindihan po ba tayo?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sige. Mr. Chair, yung iba na munang makasama natin para naman makapagtanong din sila.
Sa pagtingin lang ninyo sa dalawa, nagkaintindihan na kayo?
Mr. Chair, medyo in-depth na rin ang aming pag-aaral dito sa LTMS contract. So I understand where the Honorable Marcoleta is
Coming from.
Chair.
Okay.